Hey y'all, hi. Welcome to Grandma's Castle. How's everybody doing today? Come on in, sit down, grab a seat, because today I want to talk to all you bright, bold, and beautiful beings of light about jobs. Jobs. My friend Ralph Smart says jobs means just above broke. But we won't get into that right now. I'm going to tell you about my life and how I feel about jobs based on my 6.5 decades of being here on Earth. You see, when I was brought into this world as a tiny baby, my father owned his own business, Kelly Brothers Construction. And in fact, there's a whole nother story that goes along with that about him being severely injured the day I came home from the hospital working for this fairly new company of Kelly Brothers Construction. So anyway, I grew up my entire life with Kelly Brothers Construction, literally in my backyard, in my life, in my home, everywhere. It was a part of our life. It was who we were. It was what we did. I had 3 brothers. They all worked for Kelly Brothers Construction. My sisters and I worked for Kelly Brothers Construction. When I turned 12, when I was in 6th grade, I think after raising 7 children, my mother wanted something to do other than raise children, and she was an excellent cook, so my dad bought her some restaurants, Alley Inn and Alley Inn West. Well, Alley Inn was a tiny little restaurant that thrived. It was in Elyria, Ohio, down an alley, well hidden, but very well known. And when I was 12 years old, the summer after I turned 12, I was awakened on the first day of summer vacation by one of my siblings and told I had to go to the restaurant and work. Well, I had always played at the restaurant, but I never worked at the restaurant. But they needed me to be the cashier. I was 12. And my mother and my sister and both my sisters, my sister-in-law, we all worked at the restaurant, or you worked at the construction company. So I did as I was told. And I went to the restaurant and I worked that first day. And I tell you what, y'all, it was down an alley and the line was out the door and down the alley waiting to get in this restaurant at lunchtime. So it was a very busy place, tiny, busy place. So I worked, and at the end of the day, we go home after work, and they count the money, and they balance the cash register. Now, mind you, this was 1968, and some of you might remember these types of cash registers. It was gigantic, and it had a giant button that came out. For every dollar amount, there was a button, and for every cent amount, there was a button. So if something was $2.24, I had to push the $2, the 20-cent, and the 4-cent. Yeah, so it took 2 hands and several fingers to push these buttons down, and then I had to figure out the change because it was not computerized. It didn't tell you how much change to give. It didn't talk to you or any of the things that the machines do these days. So after figuring out all the buttons I had to push, cha-ching, and it literally went cha-ching, they would give me the money and then I had to count back the change. So at the end of the day, when they reconciled the drawer, I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't even familiar with the whole process of reconciling the drawer because I never did that before because I was 12. I just went down and did my thing at the cash register, and at the end of the day, I balanced to the penny. To the penny. Well, that was, my family was so proud of me. They were so happy. Felt so good. They praised me. I did a great job. Now, I was ready to get up and go back to work the next day. and I did equally well. I think I might have been a penny off that week, but each day it continued like that. I went, I did my work. They appreciated me. They praised me. I felt good. I was enjoying myself. I was with people I loved. Hey, this working thing is pretty cool, I thought. Then as I got older, I went to work for the construction company and got more and more involved in the construction company, to the point that when I was 23, a skinny young 23-year-old girl, I was in charge of men at the construction company who had been working there since I was 2. Jim Watkins, I will never forget you. He's one of them. And so I had to go and tell these people what to do. These grown men who had been doing what they had been doing since I was in diapers, and now all of a sudden I was their boss. Well, that was a wonderful experience. They treated me with respect, and I treated them with respect because I knew that they knew more than I did. So that was a wonderful, wonderful experience. So all of my jobs were wonderful. I was like, this working thing, because I was raised, keep your nose to the grindstone. And I'm like, yeah, I can keep my nose to this grindstone. I am enjoying this working thing. I can't wait to be an adult and move out and do this on my own. Well, then the late 70s and 80s came, and things changed, and the construction business went through changes, and Kelly Brothers dissolved for a long time. My husband was in the construction business at the time, and there was no work in Ohio, so we actually left family, not just the business, but we left family and moved here to Paradise in Florida to make our own way. And that's when I really had to go get a job working for somebody else. So I did. And that did not go well. That did not go well. And then I got a job working for the school district, a coveted job, because, you know, everybody wants to work for the school district. You get benefits, straight hours, holidays. You just have to sit at your desk and do what they tell you, and life is grand. That didn't work out that way for me either. I found out that when you have, especially jobs in institutions like school districts and government entities and big corporations, that you're a pawn in a game, and all they want you to do is perform like they ask you to. Sit down, shut up, do the work, collect your paycheck, and don't bother them. Don't bring your personal life, don't bring your feelings, don't bring your mind. Don't bring your mind. If you're going to work for the government, leave your mind at home, because they don't want to hear that. They don't want new ideas. They don't want to know what you have to say. They need you to do what you're told. It's the bottom line that they're worried about. And they'll tell you how to get there. So, after many, many unsuccessful jobs, including the one at the school district, which I managed to stick it out long enough to be vested in the retirement system so that I collect a small stipend from them for the pain that I went through, because the only way I made it through those 11 and a half years was by using the drugs that we talked about in a previous video. I became so deathly addicted to drugs prescribed by my physician in order to go to work every day and do the job I needed to do at my coveted school district job. Whew. Who knows how long I might have done that had I stayed there and not found a passion, a job that was really a passion. And it was a job, but it was unlike any other. It was executive director for Swamp Buggy Incorporated in Florida Sports Park, where I got to produce and manage and promote the Swamp Buggy races and the Florida Sports Park here in Naples, Florida. And that turned me on. That made me get up and go to work. Just like back when I worked for the family. I was passionate about it, just like I was with the family business. And that's why I wanted to get up and go to work and do what I did. So, after leaving that job, and even before, all throughout my life, I have done my own businesses. I have been self-employed. I have created businesses. So after I left, after my tenure at Swamp Buggy Inc., which was just a wonderful time in my life, and I value it and I appreciate it, and to this day I will always be grateful for that time. But there's always a time to move on, and I moved on from there, and I started a couple of businesses. I started one business that I knew nothing about. Somebody told me something that they were doing it was something that allowed me to be independent, and all of the information was on the internet. So I researched what this person told me, and I built a business from it. That business supported my family for about a year or so, and then I sold the business because I had a partner at the time, and we started another business. And that was an air conditioning business. And that business thrived and was doing very well, and then I had the stroke. That business is still thriving and doing very well, but I since left it. I had the stroke. And that was the end of my working career, right? Not exactly. That's the end of my job career and the end of my 3D thinking about jobs. Because now, and when I started healing and I realized that I'm healing, and all my friends and family, well-meaning friends and family, kept telling me, you must find a job, get paid by the hour. Or I said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to work for myself. Okay, you must make a product and sell it. No, I don't want to do that. I want to follow my passion. I want to talk. I want to write. I want to help people. Well, that wasn't very specific, was it? How are you going to make money doing that? So they shake their head and walk away. But I knew in my heart that if I follow my passion, the money will flow to me. Because money is energy. I don't have to go out and force it by doing something that's killing my soul and my heart and my entire being. Now, jobs that move you, jobs that you can't wait to get to, and they're out there, and a lot of people have them. But if you don't have one, honey, find one. Follow your passion. One of my grandchildren recently quit his steady job to follow his passion. And you know what Grandma said? Yay! Good for you. Good for you. I know you're going to be successful. Because he already is. He's following his passion. So, don't listen to the people that tell you you have to get a job and you have to have insurance and you have to make money unless those things are feeding your soul. Because when you get caught in that loop, my friend Ralph is absolutely right. You will be just above broke. Everything is energy. You need the flow of money in this world, but that's changing too. And right now, 2021, right now is the time to be asking yourself, am I happy doing what I'm doing? Because if you're not happy, now's the time to change it. The entire universe will support you. It's asking you to do what you love. So you're not stuck in a job that you can't stand. You're choosing to stay in a job you cannot stand. There's a difference. And it's easy for me to say. It's real easy for me to say because I've done it many times. So my wish for you, for all of you bright, bold, and beautiful beings, is to follow your passions. What are they? Do you even know what your passions are? I didn't even know what my passions were. I did not know I was a writer. I learned that, well, at Swamp Buggy I did some writing. And a journalist said to me, you know, people told me, your writing's good. And I'm like, really? That's funny because I enjoy it too. So I kept doing it and writing and speaking. I always knew I liked to talk, but I never knew I had anything worthy to say because people told me I was crazy. So here I am, after being told to be quiet all of my life, not knowing that I could write. I'm a writer and a speaker. And the universe is giving me everything I need. Everything. All the money, the love, the possessions, everything. So please don't feel stuck. Y'all aren't stuck, okay? There is a way out, and that's what this time period is meant for. So if you have a passion, if you have a dream, visualize it, talk about it, share it, and then take baby steps to doing it. Take baby steps to doing it. Because I have a huge vision that I'll tell you more about, where I want to do something that's pretty big and bring people together in a physical and virtual ways. And I am taking baby steps to get there. The little things you do. And we'll talk more about that. And I talk more about that on some of my other platforms. So if you want to know more about that, you can follow me at Cindy Lee Kelly on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on Patreon, and at Musings and Meditations, wherever you get podcasts. But on this channel, I just want to tell you that each and every one of you has a beautiful gift to offer. I don't know what it is, and you might not know what it is yet, but seek it, and don't let anybody drown it, and don't let anybody negate it. You're here to share that gift, whatever it is. And if you need help getting there, let me know. Say something in the comments. I will help in whatever way I can, because that is the new big thing that I'm doing. I'm creating a resource to help people pursue their passions, to keep us all alive. So please reach out, follow your dreams. Don't be stuck in a dead-end job. And if you do have a job you love, celebrate it, because that's very important. I hope you're enjoying this channel, and I hope all you'll have a most beautiful day. I love you just the way you are, because you're bright, bold, and beautiful. Don't ever let anyone dull your shine. Namaste.